Imagine stepping onto the bright lights of the America's Got Talent stage, feeling the energy of thousands of eyes on you. The audience is on their feet, cheering, clapping, screaming, but your gaze locks on Simon Cowell. He doesn't need to applaud. His reaction is something more subtle yet infinitely more powerful. When Simon leans back, stunned, like he's just witnessed something extraordinary, you know you've done something truly rare. That moment, that lightning strike recognition, is exactly what happened for Courtney Hadwin in 2018. Just 13 years old, she stepped onto the stage and blew everyone away with a voice that seemed far beyond her years. Simon took notice. Howie Mandel pressed the golden buzzer. The world gasped. With Simon's label backing her, Courtney seemed destined for superstardom. But fame is rarely straightforward, and the path for a young prodigy is never without obstacles. What happened after that viral moment? How did a rising star confront the pressures of the industry? And where is she now? Today, we're diving into the full story. The rise, the challenges, and the rebirth of Courtney Hadwin. Even the toughest of critics can be surprised. Simon Cowell, famous for his unflinching demeanor, is known for spotting talent and crushing dreams without ever showing emotion. Yet, the first time he heard Courtney sing, he almost shed a tear. But before that moment, there was a long journey that shaped her extraordinary talent. Born on July 6, 2004 in Heselden, a small former mining village in northeast England, Courtney grew up surrounded by the love of her parents, Paul and Anne-Marie, and her younger siblings, Paul and Melissa. Music wasn't just a pastime, it was woven into the fabric of her everyday life. From singing around the house to dabbling in musical theater, Courtney explored her voice from a young age. Her inspiration took a sharper form when she watched Connie Talbot on Britain's Got Talent. That was the spark that ignited her dream of pursuing music seriously. By age 9 or 10, Courtney was singing properly, and by 11, she was performing at school open mic sessions, covering songs like Say Something by A Great Big World and Christina Aguilera. One viral Facebook video of her performance had classmates shocked at her skill. Many urged her to pursue her talent, and Courtney listened. She embraced every opportunity to sing, write, and perform. Her grandfather recalled how she even began busking locally, using the small earnings to fund singing lessons and travel costs. Through local academies like Shotton Hall Theatre School, Peanuts Masterclasses, and Vocal Ovation by Julie Miles, Courtney honed her skills. By 2015, she entered Teen Star UK in Newcastle and reached the grand final performing Bob Dylan's Make You Feel My Love, a performance that hinted at a young star in the making. The following year, at just 12, she won Hartlepool's Performer of the Year award and became a finalist in Beyond the Lights. She also auditioned for Open Mic UK, performing Nothing Compares to You. That summer, she opened for Sister Sledge at the South Tyneside Festival in front of over 18,000 people, a milestone that proved her presence on stage was magnetic. By 2016, she appeared on The Voice Kids UK, impressing judges with Tina Turner's Nutbush City Limits. She advanced to the semifinals, delivering a powerhouse rendition of James Brown's I Got You, I Feel Good, ultimately finishing as a finalist. These early experiences not only polished her performances, but also built a foundation of resilience, determination, and a work ethic rarely seen in someone so young. Throughout all this, Courtney's family played an essential role. Her mother recognized her raw potential, while her father worked multiple jobs to ensure she could attend auditions and competitions across the UK. When the opportunity arose to compete on AGT, the family even moved to Los Angeles to support her, an unwavering anchor in a world full of uncertainty. By early 2018, Courtney had made a name for herself in the UK and was invited to audition for season 13 of America's Got Talent. She arrived at the stage as a shy, reserved 13-year-old, seemingly overwhelmed by the grandeur around her. But the first notes of Otis Redding's Hard to Handle changed everything. Suddenly, the shy schoolgirl transformed into a powerhouse performer, her voice raspy, gritty, and astonishingly mature. The audience was electrified. Simon Cowell, The unflappable judge was speechless. Howie Mandel, the first to react, pressed the golden buzzer, sending her straight through to the live shows. He compared her voice to Janis Joplin, describing it as a sound from a whole different era. Her audition went viral almost immediately, amassing over 310 million views. By the quarterfinals, the world was calling her a generational talent. Week after week, Courtney's performances blurred the lines between child and adult artist, but in the end, she placed 6th overall. The crown was not hers, but AGT had launched her into international recognition. Shortly after, Simon signed her to Psycho Music in partnership with Arista Records, marking the beginning of her professional recording career. At 13, she had reached a milestone many dream of, yet few achieve. The transition from prodigy to professional is rarely easy. Overnight, Courtney became a household name. Headlines proclaimed her the next Janis Joplin or British soul sensation. Yet with fame came an immense weight, especially for someone still in her early teens. At 14, Courtney faced the realities of the music industry, recording original tracks, attending studio sessions, managing interviews, and performing live, all while balancing school and a life that was supposed to feel normal. The pressure mounted quickly, and her creative freedom was constrained by label expectations. Producers molded her sound, executives shaped her image, and the raw, gritty voice that had amazed millions was at risk of being polished into a marketable product. Courtney later revealed that she often felt torn between who she wanted to be and who the industry wanted her to be. Traveling between the UK and US, attending relentless studio sessions, and meeting constant deadlines left her mentally exhausted and emotionally drained. Praise from fans and Howie Mandel helped, but behind the scenes, she grappled with isolation, self-doubt, and the fear of losing herself. By mid-2018, the whirlwind of fame became overwhelming. Social media posts dwindled, public appearances slowed, and fans began to worry. Rumors swirled. Was she ill? Had she suffered an accident? The reality was simpler. Courtney was reclaiming her space, stepping back to regain control of her music, her identity, and her mental health. Industry pressure, creative disagreements, and the weight of expectation had pushed her to retreat. But even in silence, she was preparing her next chapter. Hints of future music showed raw emotion, vulnerability, and defiance, signaling that her story was far from over. The years following her AGT fame were about reclamation. Courtney began working independently, collaborating with Grammy-winning producer Kevin Bowe. Together, they created music that felt honest, unfiltered, and true to her vision. Tracks like Monsters, You Only Love Me When I Lie, and Breakable explore vulnerability, anger, and resilience, showing a young woman who had weathered storms but emerged stronger. By 2025, Courtney had transformed into an artist fully in control of her creative destiny. She described this period as a rebirth, emphasizing that she could now express herself authentically, free from label-imposed limitations. Her fanbase embraced this new era, praising the emotional depth and intensity of her work. Today, Courtney Hadwin is no longer just the viral kid from Heselden who amazed Simon Cowell. She is a grounded, independent artist, building her career on her own terms. Living in the northeast of England, she balances her personal life with her musical ambitions, staying connected to her roots. Social media is now a bridge, not a pressure cooker. Courtney engages with fans authentically, sharing behind-the-scenes studio moments, personal reflections, and glimpses of her daily life. Her independence is evident in her creative choices, experimenting across genres, writing her own lyrics, and performing live with a focus on connection over applause. Highlights include performances at Carnegie Hall and collaborations with respected producers, marking her as a rising talent with authenticity, resilience, and courage at the core of her music. Her upcoming album, Little Miss Jagged, promises a bold, personal, and eclectic mix of rock, soul, and punk influences, a testament to her evolution as an artist. Courtney Hadwin's journey is a powerful reminder of the pressures young stars face and the resilience required to reclaim one's voice. From the tiny village of Heselden to the stages of America's Got Talent, from viral fame to industry pressures, and finally to independent artistry, she has transformed challenges into strength, setbacks into creativity, and silence into powerful self-expression. She no longer chases fame, she creates on her terms.